Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house, not against it. It is so wonderful to see so many of you here early. Hello, Thomas. How are you doing? DJ Ray, thank you so much for putting in the links to my newsletter, showing people where to get my Substack. David, hello. How are you doing tonight? And thanks so much, DJ Ray, for stopping in. I hope you feel better soon. I hope your family feels better soon as well. And you know, it's winter right now. I feel like I'm even getting a little bit of a cold starting to come on here. So I hope everyone's staying safe out there, staying healthy, and taking care of yourselves. That's really important, especially as we're making these wagers. We want to have the clearest mindset, you know, going into this strategy and analysis that we do. Hey Derek, hello, Tech Science, good evening, how are you doing? Are you guys staying out of the cold? It has been snowing here, but I don't think the snowstorm was nearly as bad as everyone was projecting it to be. You know, we have some snow on the ground outside. I was practicing driving through the snow for really the first time. I don't have a lot of experience in the snow, especially being in Vegas my whole life. I really didn't get to practice in the snow. My first time learning to drive a car, I was actually practicing in a dry lake bed. Yeah, believe it or not. Have a lot of those out in Vegas. Hey Brian, I'm excited too. Thanks so much for stopping in. Oh, I know. It is so cold here. I've been freezing. But I did go out, do a little bit of shopping the other day. Just want to show off my outfit. It matches perfectly. It's kind of a vibe. What do you think? Yeah, had to go out and get a new little top, new bottom, just yeah, put something new together. You know, switch it up because it's been a cold winter and sometimes you have to treat yourself a little bit. Thanks, Thomas. Oh, I'm glad. I love that. Outfits are healing you already. Cheers to that. Actually, we should settle down with some Northern Lights tonight. You know what I always like to do before I make these wagers. Hey Peter, welcome in. You know I like to sit back, relax, and get my mind right to win some wagers. Alrighty, let's get started. Some Northern Lights. This is very calming. You know, it's just, yeah, it's a very nice winter strain. Kind of makes you more reflective, contemplative. So sit back, relax, and let's win some wagers. Whoa. Ooh, I think I need to fix the zoom here. It zoomed in a lot. My camera, but that's okay. We're still figuring this out. Alrighty. Now, how do I zoom out? Sorry everyone, a little bit of a technical issue here. Okay, just a second. Bear with me. Okay, and we're back. There we go. There we go. We are back. So much better. that was weird. I don't know why I was doing that. All right. Thanks for bearing with me while we fix these technical issues. Still trying to get this under control here. But we're gonna have a great stream, and no worry about that. Hey OFTV, welcome in. Nice. Let's go. I like that. I'm glad you hit those plays. I think we're just gonna keep rolling with some success tonight, but it's been a little bit weird, like especially the NBA. A lot of money's going one way, the line's going the other way. I've spotted quite a few of those plays today. So let's just go over current ROIs. We're currently doing the best in college basketball. We have a 37% ROI with a 71.3% win rate. We've played 115 units so far this season. In the NBA, we are still crushing it with a 30.1% ROI, 66.3% win rate with 87 units played so far. And in hockey, we are about to bring this up to 30%. We're hanging in there at 28.1%. We're going to just bring this right up with a 62.5% win rate. 80 units played so far for hockey this season. Yeah, I was doing really well with a lot of these NBA totals early on in the season, and I mean, we were just crushing it, but now just the lines today are looking very off, very off. Yeah, I like playing college basketball. It's fun, and you know what? We've been doing really well here, so you can't argue with that. So I wanted to start off with some strong plays tonight in the NHL. Also, I know we have some hockey sharps in the audience here. If you want to throw your picks in, tell me what you like in hockey tonight. I am dying to know. So let me know what you like tonight. I've been watching a few games here, but I'm going to start with the games that I like best. So starting off with Utah versus Florida. This is a 7:10 p.m. Eastern game. This is happening in exactly an hour from now. And I like the total here. In fact, I would say this is my favorite game on the board for today. The total opened over 6 minus 105. Then it went up over 6.5. Even money. Level 4 money was pushing this, and as you guys know on my grading scale, it's right near level 5 money. That is the highest on my scale. Right now it dropped back a little bit to level 2 over money, but this is still, the money is still holding strong here. The line moved in the right direction, and overall, I think this is a strong play. This is my best play. Ooh, okay. You like that under in NBA. Let's take a look at it. You like the Blackhawks money line. Alrighty. Yeah, you know what? I think that NBA under, I think it's starting to develop. It's looking really good. It opened up at 230.5, dropped down to 225.5, and it's been dropping on mixed money. So I actually think that's a pretty good play. Yeah, I like it. I like the direction that line is moving. So the sportsbook is moving the line towards the under. You're taking the under. I would say if there's one play in the NBA tonight that I really like, yeah, I like that one for sure. All right, moving on to some other plays. So I am taking over in that Utah-Florida hockey game. I would say this is my favorite game on the board right now tonight. It's looking very solid. The line's moving in the right direction, and the money is moving in the right direction as well. My other favorite hockey play tonight is the Kraken money line. That's right. I like the Seattle Kraken money line. It opened up at plus 125, and right now it is sitting at plus 105. I noticed some mixed pro money on this money line as well, and it does seem like this line is moving in the right direction. It's been a pretty big move, and who knows, you know, maybe soon they'll be the favorites, but yeah, still a nice little plus money play while you could grab it. So I like this money line a lot tonight. I have been watching a couple other games as well. So in an hour from now, the Kings are facing off against the Detroit Red Wings. Ooh, okay. I'll take a look at that one. The Kings are facing off against the Red Wings, and this total is a little bit weird to me. It opened up under 5.5 even money, and it looked like the under might have started developing. They moved the odds to minus 115, so kind of it looked like the sports books were discouraging, you know, people from betting the under. They moved this from even money to minus 115, so definitely not as desirable there, but there was level 2 money on the over, and then it grew to level 4 money on the over. So the sharp money, the sports books, the money, they aren't moving in the right direction here in this Kings Red Wings game, so I am staying away from that play tonight. Another one I want to look at is the Jets versus the Devils. Also starting off in an hour. I've been watching a very similar thing happen here. The sportsbook moved this line a half a point towards the under. Opened under 6 minus 120. They moved it to under 5.5 minus 115. But the sportsbook is moving this line towards the under, but the money is piling onto the over. There's level 3 money on the over. So the money and the sports books are not in agreement with each other here. Therefore, you know, I don't really see anything too interesting in either of these games. I like that much. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these other games, and everyone feel free to put in games that you would like me to break down, analyze live on air, just you know, even things that you would like me to look at. All right. Yeah, and I'm happy to do so. Also, I know we have some sharps here in the audience. You guys want to throw out what you like? Okay, so it seems like the odds are starting to move in the right direction for this one. This did open up at over 6.5, minus 110. It was opening, you know, over under minus 110 in both directions here, and right now it's actually sitting at, ooh, where did the total go? I believe it's sitting at, yeah, minus 120 in most spots on this over. So it has a little bit of a move. And on this over, I'm noticing some pretty good money coming in. Yeah, I would put that at level 3 money. So it does look like, you know, that over is developing for sure. Yeah, well, you know what? Tonight, and I think, even leading up to the Super Bowl, using discretion when you're placing your bets is very important. I just think a lot of people they've placed futures already on the Super Bowl, maybe early on in the season, or, now they're really wanting to get some bets in because there aren't as, many games. They're just waiting for the Super Bowl, getting ready for it. Maybe playing some props here on that game, or even in my daily report, I try to teach people, this free email, it's not telling you how to bet. It's just being a guide on what I like, what I'm tracking, what I'm interested in, and a lot of these games I will put into the daily report, but it doesn't mean I like them. It just means I'm watching how the lines are moving. When I highlight it blue, that means it's an action play, but even that, you still have to use your judgment on. It doesn't mean it's an automatic bet. The red bets are the ones that I really like, so I highlight them red, and I'll say if it's a double tap play for me. But also, it's important to follow along, make sure the lines don't fall apart, and pay attention throughout the day instead of just setting and forgetting it, especially if you have a lot of money on the line and you want to become a professional bettor, you want to get better at gambling. It's not something you just do for, you put 2 minutes into and then move on to the next bet. It's something you really have to pay attention to and use your own judgment on. It's basically a starting point, and anyone that wants to join these free daily emails, it's super easy to do so. Just head over to arielcalista.com and click the Stay in Touch button. It's easy, it's free, you don't get ads or spam or anything negative like that, but we do have a health corner just to keep you healthy, happy, sharp, and ready to make the best analysis that you can on the games that are on the board. And then I go over a few games that I like. I have some sports news of the day, sometimes I'll throw in a funny AI photo, and of course a little picture of me at the bottom, just to keep things fun and interesting. You're not a fan of the board either, Derek. You know what? Yeah, tonight might just be one of those nights where, you just have to be a little bit more careful versus another night. In college basketball, I really wasn't seeing anything here either that I'm looking at. I would say, if anything, there's just one play that I'm looking at, and that's Georgia Tech versus Virginia Tech. This is an 8:00 p.m. Eastern game, and this spread for Georgia Tech, it came back a little bit, but I still like it. I see some pro money here, and it opened up at plus 10.5. It started moving out in the right direction, and it went to plus 8.5. But like I said, the line went back a little bit to plus 9.5. I see the pro money there, and I see the pro money on the Georgia Tech spread. I don't like this game that much, but out of all the plays in college basketball tonight, I would say this one is about borderline for me. Yeah, I would say it's borderline. So just kind of keep your eye on it. Yeah, maybe it's just a night where you wanna be a little picky with your bets, and that's okay. What is a-okay? All right. So now looking ahead to the Super Bowl. Alrighty. So I've been watching this spread. In some spots, Seattle opened up at -5, and other spots it opened up at -4.5. For example, Circa opened this line up early at -5, but they're hedging. There was a lot of early future bets on Seattle, so they're hedging with this line movement a bit. Right now, it's currently sitting at -4.5. So let's just say most spots pretty much opened it up at -4.5, except for the sports books that are hedging, opening up at -5. I wouldn't take this as a real signal at this point, sitting at -4.5. This is where the current line is. And I do see Seattle is trying to get some pro support here. I think there's a little bit of pro money maybe starting to come in here on Seattle. I think a lot of you guys know I've been on Seattle for a while, but the Super Bowl is always tough betting. And the lines are very sticky at this time. You know, Vegas is really trying to manage its risk, and that's what it's doing here. Hey, Super Pro, welcome in. Thanks for the emojis. Seattle seems too easy. Well, I mean, it might be. They are not moving this line from the open, really, in most spots. So, yeah, I'm not betting this one early, but I do feel like it might be a good game for Seattle. And I've been feeling that way for the last few games. You guys know that I've maybe been saying it on air. Off air. Oh, okay. So you like a correlated parlay. Darnold is MVP and Seattle winning. You know, some sports books won't even let you play that as a parlay. You could still play it as straight bets, but they know. They've run the numbers. The sports books know that if you're playing this as a parlay, yeah, it's just too likely to happen. They'll take it off. They might not let you play this parlay. They didn't last year for some people at certain books, but you could always play both of these bets as straight bets. You know, the team to win and the MVP. That's a very easy one. All right, Spencer, go Seahawks. All right, you like the Diggs anytime touchdown? Happy Tuesday, red pilled. I agree. I think it's weak too. I mean, I think right now it's just a hedge move, and considering a lot of other places just open this up at -4.5, you know, they didn't have those big future bets, so I think 4.5 is more exact to where this line should be. Hey Tyler, welcome in. So we were just going over hockey, and my favorite play of the night is the over in this Utah-Florida game. That's starting really soon, about a half an hour from now. And I also like the Seattle Kraken money line. I've noticed this move in the right direction, some pro money here. And you're all caught up. I would say in college basketball, one thing we're keeping our eye on, which I would say I'm not crazy about this bet, but if anything in college basketball, this Georgia Tech spread. It's looking pretty solid. Not super solid with the sportsbook lines, but with the pro money showing up in there. But it's still a weak play for me. I like those two hockey bets a lot better. I think I'm going to sit on this college basketball bet. Just hasn't quite developed to the point where I would like to see it. And that's okay. You think it could move to -5.5? Ooh, that would be interesting. I would like to see that happen. I mean, if they're really getting some pro money right now, it's definitely possible. Alrighty. Yeah, big future bets on Seattle. A lot of sharps, and just big money in general. We're betting on Seattle early in the season. Okay, alright, you like the Red Wings tonight. Are you taking the puck line or the money line there? Feel free to let me know in the chat. Okay, so I wanted to talk about betting in the 2026 Super Bowl, especially because, tonight we've been talking a lot about discretion and choosing your bets wisely. And I think the numbers that I run here are a perfect descriptor of this. So the projected handle is estimated to be $1.7 billion bet on the Super Bowl. In 2025, it was $1.5 billion. And I also decided to start running a few more numbers, running some Monte Carlo simulations, and basically also like reverse engineering hold rates, doing a blended hold rates and projected revenue. So let's just go over basically where this money is going to go, and in a few in like last week's email reports, I started talking about how a lot of the holds that these sports books have just exploded really over the past year over year. It's just exploded from 2024 to 2025. Meanwhile, the amount of money that's being bet in each of these states is down, and it's actually down by a few percent. That means that the sports books are getting more efficient at basically taking your money and increasing their profits. So we need to still apply that same math to what's going to be happening today, this year, because the same thing holds true. In fact, we're collecting even more data at this point to really find out, maybe this person really loves props, and we could send them all these notifications for props and give them this deal and that deal to get them to do more props, and we'll recommend this to them. And these sports books have gotten a lot better at it. So I just did a little bit of a projection on, basically what Americans are going to bet and how much the house is going to keep. All right, so starting off with props. The estimate here is the share of bets will be about 48%. The handle will be $815 million. The hold rate will be 11.5%. So the revenue to the sports books here is estimated to be $94 million. Straight bets, that's much smaller. About 22% of the share of the bets, and really only $19 million in revenue to the operators. Whereas look at something like parlays. The share of the bets here will be about 13%, handle $220 million, hold rate 15%, but the revenue to the operators compared to straight bets, which was $19 million, is estimated to be $33 million. And this is because of this hold explosion. And let's just look at it, even by product. So like parlays and live parlays, they're really like the worst with this. So in 2024, parlays, that was like a 9.5% hold. In 2025, 14%. And in 2026, I'm estimating this to be 15%. So, it's just worse payouts. They're asking you to play more legs in these parlays. And of course, all of these sports books are pushing 5, 6, 7, 8 leg same game parlays. So, that's why this is why this whole explosion is happening. Now, let's talk about live parlays, a very similar thing, except they're holding even more. In 2024, it was 11%, 2025, 16.5%, in 2026, I'm estimating it to be about 18%. So that's a plus 700 basis points in 2 years. That's funny, Super Pro. Okay. Versus, look at something like this, like live straight bets. 2024, 6.5% was a hold, 2025, 9.5%, and in 2026, 10.5%. Like, that's really not a huge increase, and I mean, it's really not compared to a lot of other things. So, I was doing a lot of this research just by looking at, New Jersey kind of as the blueprint for a lot of this, because New Jersey does list how much money is being played in props versus live betting versus straight bets, and all of this data is publicly available. So I was using the New Jersey data to start estimating this. And truthfully, the worst bets that you could play for the Super Bowl, and we're just going to rank this from worst to best. So we're going to rank it by holds. Live parlays, that's going to be the worst. That house is estimated to keep $18 per $100 played. Regular parlays, 15% hold. So 15 for every $100 played. Props, 11.5% holds. Live straight bets, a 10.5% holds. And finally, just regular straight bets, a 5% hold. That means for a regular straight bet on a Super Bowl, the house is only keeping $5 per 100. Versus a live parlay, that's 18 per 100. That is a huge difference. So yeah, basically, like, what a $100 bet returns to you with a live parlay, $82. Now, just a traditional spread or total, $95. So you're only losing $5. Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. They like to use these live betting features, and especially like live same game parlays to really build up the excitement, or I mean, just keep it going from second to second to second. And truthfully, when you start adding in props into your parlays and everything, it just all goes to hell. I'm going to be so honest. And I don't want you to lose your shirt. I mean, we're looking at actual numbers that have been, steady year over year, and in understanding how these hold rates are exploding in every single state while the handles are down. Looking at the New Jersey breakdown, running Monte Carlo simulations to really figure this out. And, also, yeah, I mean, I basically said there's about 3 scenarios that could happen this year in this year's Super Bowl. So it could plateau, with the hold being 9.75%. Or it could be an explosion with 12.2%. But also, it is possible it could fall somewhere in the middle with 10.6%. I think this is more likely like where the hold grows, but it's a little bit slower. So, I mean, just, considering that, yeah, I mean, props, parlays, this is what dominates for the typical bettor. But the house is keeping such a huge proportion of that money, and just compare that, run the math, compare it to traditional point spreads where the house is only keeping 5%. And I mean, live parlays, an 18% hold, it's basically 4 times worse than straight bets. It's terrible. So if you are parlaying, you have to be cautious of this and disciplined, and know that sometimes the better bet is to not bet at all. I don't want you to lose your shirts. I want you to have fun betting. Put aside an amount that you are okay with losing and leave it at that. Don't go beyond it. Say, this is my limit, and I'm going to break it down however I need to just have fun during a Super Bowl. If I really want to play a parlay, if I really want to play a prop bet. Hey, Optimistic Realizer, thank you. So if you really want to play a parlay, a live same game parlay, a prop bet, just keep these numbers in the back of your mind, because the sports books, they're making it worse for you. and those straight bets, it's been pretty consistent with the hold over time. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and remember, this is where these huge revenue growth this is where the huge revenue growth is coming from. It's coming from sportsbooks being able to feed you better same game parlays, better props, things that look enticing like that, fun to play in the moment. So just when it comes to the Super Bowl, set aside an amount of money and don't exceed it. Set aside an amount of money that you're not afraid to lose, and don't exceed it. You can have fun. I'm not telling you can't, but just remember, when you're playing a lot of these risky bets, the odds are not in your favor. Yeah, it is definitely not a shock. And I mean, it's just looking at all of the data, putting it together. Yeah. It's estimated that it's going to be $1.7 billion in Super Bowl bets this year. That's a lot of money, and people are already playing their first $1 million bets on the Super Bowl. Okay, just one more thing to put this into perspective for you. In 2024, the house kept $7 per $100 wagered on the Super Bowl. Okay, just keep that in the back of your mind. In 2026, the way I'm projecting this, just based off of the data, they're going to keep $10.60 per $100 wagered. So that is a huge increase in the house edge in just 2 years. And this is all because of behavioral engineering, because they're wanting to encourage you to play more and more of these risky bets. So keep this in the back of your mind, because as much as we love betting here and we love gambling, we love winning. That's what we're going for. And I feel like a lot of times when people bet on sports, they aren't driven by the winning factor. It's the one thing where people could continuously lose money sports betting over and over again for months, if not years, and they'll still keep doing it because of the dopamine effect. So we want to win money here. That's what this is all about, and that's why I'm trying to teach responsible gambling, because we're not trying to get stuck into these dopamine cycles. When you have the data in front of you and you really make a sharp analysis on the game, and you're not just going into it betting blind or recklessly because it's a fun thing to do, then protect your bankroll and actually get to the level of being a professional handicapper, which is where I hope everyone wants to be, because that's what we're teaching here. I love it. Thanks for using my emotes over on Rumble, everyone. All right, so okay. Yeah, just one more time. Live parlays, the worst. Same game parlays, also very bad, but the best bet is just straight bets. I've said this for years. Okay, moving on to the NBA. Everything's been moving in opposite directions. I think it's just been such a weird day to bet in the NBA. And I said earlier, I was looking at this Kings-Knicks game. This is happening at 7:40 p.m. Eastern. So in exactly an hour from now. I've been watching this total. It opened up at 230.5. And it did drop down 5 points to 225.5 on mixed money. So looking at the board, especially when a lot of these numbers aren't moving in the same direction as the money, I would say this is the best play, because even though this is mixed money, the sportsbook is taking, they're making a strong move here, dropping this total by 5 points. Even without the money signaling that that sharps or Joes are going in either direction. Thanks, Super Mario Sports. It was a lot of data analysis to come up with these projections, but it's a good thing I know how to read code. And I was able to look at it, you know, write it, figure out where all these projections for the 2026 Super Bowl are supposed to be. Another game that I've been keeping my eye on here is the Nets versus Suns. This is a 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. This is another spot. The total dropped by 3 points. It went from 213.5 to 210.5. But there's level 2 money on the over. So not really liking anything here. Lines dropping, the money is going over. I think this is one you could just kind of throw out. No bet. Also, the Pistons versus Nuggets game. This is a 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern game as well. The total is dropping, but there's level 3 money on the over. So even though it opened up at 218.5, it dropped to 215.5 against level 3 over money. Oh, sorry, Super Mario Sports. I thought you were talking about what I was talking about earlier, which is, I mean, machine learning is AI. So we were talking about the projections for the hold for each bet type for the 2026 Super Bowl. No, I'm not AI. I'm just in school for it. But I know that it does seem like I'm kind of AI. Nope. But I am currently studying with Johns Hopkins right now. I love my AI in healthcare class, and we're talking a lot about building these machine learning models, deep learning models, and I've already had a lot of experience with that, even building, you know, multi-agent collaborative systems. So now I'm excited to see how to apply this to healthcare, especially because I have a new business I just started called Ola Health Guide, and I'm working with a functional health doctor from Maryland, and we're going to be looking into providing courses to teach people, building our own LLM, a RAG-based LLM. So it's actually pulling from the context instead of hallucinating things, and basically helping people with their health in an easy way where they're learning about stress, sleep, all of that stuff. I think I need like a little AI visual to just pop up on the screen, like I can't say it tonight. Illuminari is here. I think that's yeah. If you say RE, that's the word AI with an R in between. Okay, the last game I'm looking at in the NBA tonight is the Clippers versus the Jazz. This is a 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. I think this might be an okay spread. Just looking at Utah, they opened up as underdogs at plus 10.5. Then this line moved to plus 8.5 on mixed money, but now I'm seeing some Utah money showing up here. I like how this line is starting to move in the right direction for Utah, and the money is here. It's showing up. I like to see this money become a little bit stronger, but at this moment, I think it's looking like a good play. It's okay. It is okay. Why not? Also, I've been looking at this total here in this game as well. It opened up at 231.5, and it went up to 234.5 on mixed money. So the line's going up on mixed money, something to keep your eye on. Oh, hey, Super James, thanks for coming in. Well, yeah, actually, we are getting to the end of the show just right about now. I will go over all of the bets that I like, but there is a bet that I have on my radar for tomorrow. And so far, we've won 6 out of 6 of these advanced bets that I've had on my radar. So this is for tomorrow's game. The Knicks at the Raptors. And right now, I like Toronto. I bet this early. And I would say you should probably bet this early too, because if the Knicks take a pounding tonight. I think this line is going to get pushed way out for Toronto. The Knicks are entering the second leg of back-to-back traveling from New York City to Toronto. The Raptors, they are enjoying 2 full days of at-home rest. Sounds nice, right? So, so ordinarily, I would guess that the open is around probably Toronto -1, but with a schedule disadvantage, I would say this is more like Toronto -2. With the Eastern Conference 3rd seed on the line, healthy Raptors squad is primed to just leapfrog over the Knicks in their standings. So I'm going with the Raptors, considering all of these look-ahead spots. Yeah, six for 6 so far. Let's go. I like this for tomorrow, and I would say this is one to lock in early, maybe even before the game tonight. Before the next game. And, you know, all this travel fatigue, it does have an effect. We've been tracking this for a lot of these advanced games, and the average bettor out there just isn't. It does give us an advantage, especially, you know, just because we've been doing so well with these. You can't do better than perfect, right? And I have a lot of these look-ahead plays in my free daily report email, which you could get for free. No spam, no ads, none of that. Just free, good, high-quality information with sports information, the news, the plays that I'm looking at and analyzing for today, a picture of me at the bottom, and some health information. All of that's for free at arielcalista.com. Click the Stay in Touch button. It is just that easy. Alrighty, so let's just run over all of our bets real quick. Alright, so the strongest bets that I like tonight are in hockey. Yeah, my favorite game is this over in a Utah-Florida game. I like it. This over is looking very strong. The money's been holding. I like the Seattle Kraken money line as well, in addition. So I really like these hockey bets tonight. These are my strongest plays on the board. Then moving on, I would say if you're really itching to play a college basketball game for tonight, you know, this one for this spread for Georgia Tech is looking okay. It's okay. Not my favorite. Same thing with the NBA. I would say the under in this Kings-Knicks game might be the best play. And I also think this Utah spread, Utah's underdogs on the spread, this might be okay as well. Thanks, Thomas. Okay. So, just wanted to bring up one more thing, of course, as I'm running these simulations, running the numbers here, gathering up the data, using like real numbers from the New Jersey sports books. I had to create a visual as well. So let me just pull that up to show you, because it's great, you know, like when you're working in Google Colab or something, you could use, for example, like, you know, Matplotlib, Seaborn to help like graphically represent everything that you're doing. Okay, so here we go. Let me make it a little bit bigger, just some of the numbers that I've been running here so you could see. But yeah, just kind of wanted to show you the product mix, like how it's been changing over time. Also, like what the projected, you know, hold estimates are as well. And yeah, basically what is the trajectory for the 2026 Super Bowl. So had to make some charts. There you go. Just wanted to show you that. Yeah, and if you have any questions about, you know, how I found the data, and or just even like bankroll management, things like that. The last thing I want any of you guys to do is to lose your shirt during the Super Bowl. It's supposed to be fun. You know, for me, often it's something that you watch around a good group of friends or maybe family members as well. And have a good time. Enjoy the food. But seriously, don't lose your shirt betting. Set aside a amount of money that you're not afraid to lose, and just be careful, because the numbers show the devil is in the details, and the numbers show that these live parlays are killing people. The live bets are killing people. Parlays in general, prop bets even, they're taking so much money, the sports books are, from the people in general versus just placing a straight bet. You know, you're not losing as much money to the sports book. I don't know if the Patriots or Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl. I personally have been leaning a little bit more towards the Seahawks, but I don't know. I mean, the Super Bowl, I usually never bet, to be so honest, and I've always been upfront with all of you guys who've been following this live stream for years, following me before I even had this live stream. I think it was like 4 years ago when I went on the Fantasy Sports Network with Jason, and I was talking about my Super Bowl predictions, and the Super Bowl is notoriously hard to bet because the lines are tight and the sports books don't like to give an inch here. And there's also a lot of hedging going on, so you know, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Seattle. I've been on them for the past few games, but anything could happen, and that's the truth. I was talking today, even in a daily report, how a lot of people think there's some script going on in the NFL, but do you really think, with all of these hundreds of players and even disgruntled ex-employees and all these people and athletes who've trained their whole lives, like, do you really think there's a script going on here? I don't think so. So I think it's going to be tough because these are the top tier teams, and truthfully in the NFL it's hard to beat another team, and that's just the bottom line here. Oh cool, I'm glad you like the graphics, Super Pro. I'll be able to post basically more of a breakdown on this that I ran in my Substack. That's where I'm doing a lot of like my longer writing pieces, so make sure to go follow arielcalista.substack.com, and if you'd like to support my work, that would be wonderful as well. But I like to have everything for free for everyone because truly I'm a decentralized person. I think information should be out there for everyone, especially if it's benefiting other people, and you know, helping everyone have a better perspective on gambling. So that's right, Super James. A correlated parlay. Quarterback to win MVP with the team that you like. And a lot of places, they won't even let you play that. And that's because they know it's a correlated parlay and it works. It literally has a history of working. So even if they don't let you play that, play it as a straight bet. Play each one as a straight bet, and there's nothing wrong with that. Seriously, nothing wrong with placing straight bets. Alright, well this was such a fun stream, everyone. I hope you had a great time here. I did as well. Thanks, Alvin. I'm so glad you're loving the Substack. It's a lot of work that goes into that, and you know, a lot of data. I was crunching the numbers sometimes putting the code in the work, but I just like to be open with how I come to these conclusions, show you guys what I do, what the process is, and help you guys also integrate AI into your sports betting, and also just have a better understanding of betting principles, becoming a more disciplined bettor, and helping you guys all build your bankrolls. That's what it's all about. Now let's go win some wagers tonight. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe, get the stream a thumbs up if you haven't already, and join the daily report. Follow me on Substack, same thing, .substack.com, arielcalista.substack.com. And my book is right here. You could get it in bookstores, or you could get it online. We also have a Kindle version as well. This is Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. And it's also getting a little bit of a refresh as well. Yes, that is me on the back there. But I am updating it a bit, doing a course where I'm really going and diving deep into building models, teaching about like multiple linear regression, decision trees, neural networks. We're diving right into the AI component of this, as well as the basic things, understanding biases. It really covers a lot of ground. I can't wait to share the course with you. Also going to be coming out with a new version of the book soon. And yes, get your signed copies direct from my website, arielcalista.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and good luck on all your wagers today. I'll see you all next time.